At some point, Ash Ketchum will be done with his journeys across the various regions in Pokemon, and he'll need to find something resembling a retirement. Well, what could that look like for Ash? He could settle down and be the leader of a gym. In fact, we detail that premise in the video up over there. But there's quite a few gyms that he would be qualified to run. In his adventures across the regions, he's picked up more than 6 Pokemon in the types up here on screen. We've already talked about what he could do as a flying gym leader. That'd probably be his best gym, Birdkeeper Ash. And today we're going to look at the Fire Trainer Ash. So what does that look like if he holds down a gym? And can he do it generation style, where he can hold it down for different levels, where someone tries to come with to get their first or second badge, he has a team of 1 to 2 Pokemon for them. Someone comes to try to get their 8th badge, he's got 6 Pokemon for them to do battle against and scale appropriately. Little tough with only 7 Pokemon. Can he do it? And we see his list of Pokemon here. So let's start with the low end for Ash Ketchum. If he's going against someone who is coming to get their first or second badge, what are they up against? Well, for a gym leader, you're really testing, have they learned what they're supposed to? Are they ready for the next challenge to get that first or second badge? Which is really, do they know their type matchups? So we're going to have him go ahead and bring out his Quilava and his Pignite. Now, neither of these are super strong Pokemon. They're obviously mid-form evolutions. Might feel a little bit tough at a 405 stat total and a 418 stat total for a first gym. But if we can see things like Starmie in a second gym, this seems reasonable enough. And if you bring your type advantages, you are going to win as long as you've got literally any training on that type advantage Pokemon. The one wrinkle that he does throw in here is Pignite does have a neutral resistance, so neutral damage from rock, and hits back for super effective damage. But if you come in with water, you come in with ground, those are going to work great. And Pignite doesn't resist rock, so you're still going to be doing pretty good there. So this seems reasonable. On the tough side, maybe, but reasonable for a first or second gym, someone who's trying to get that first badge or 2. But if you come trying to get badge 3 or 4, well, Ash is allowed to level up his team and make you prove that you are a more competent trainer. He's going to go all the way up to 4 Pokemon, so we're doubling our count here, and you are going to see the same people again, this time with the lead of Pignite, so that can again soften up any rock types that are on the way. Quilava should be basically free if you've brought 1 or 2 decently trained fire checks there, as long as you can get through Pignite, and then you run into Torkoal, and things can start getting cute here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Torkoal, who comes in with that reasonably high 470 stat total. But again, this should be a trainer that has at least 2 badges into seeing this Pokemon, as well as Talonflame, who has that 499, as well as carrying that flying secondary typing there, like Pignite was carrying the fighting secondary typing there. So now we've got this situation where Pignite helps push through those rock Pokemon a little bit, make their job a little tough. Quilava is basically free as he's supposed to be. Torkoal is going to have the Drought or Sunny Day, something to make it a little bit tougher for water, so water doesn't just fully sweep through. You still should be able to win if you come through with good, well-trained water Pokemon, but you can't just go, oh, hey, I caught a Poliwag on the way in, I'm good to go. I've got a Krabby, this will be perfectly fine. No, you have to have actually put some training into your Pokemon there, because you're going to have to deal with the sun, deal with it being bright and shiny out there, and what that's really going to do, beyond making it so you've got to have a bit of more of a slugfest with Torkoal, is if you do take out Torkoal and that sun is still up, Talonflame is going to start throwing solar beams in the sunlight, at least for a little bit there. Probably not going to be able to get much off, but that is this gym's version of going, okay, Talonflame can fly, little bit of a ground check there. The most ground are also going to carry some rock damage on them. Rock types get softened up by Pignite, and then Torkoal and Talonflame will combine to give a little bit of resistance to water type. So you can't just go, oh, I know my type matchups anymore. You have to have actually trained your type matchups a little bit. You have to actually have a few Pokemon that you can run through here with and exploit some things that are other weaknesses of the Pokemon. Perhaps preserve your water type until later, preserve your rock type until later, have rock and ground together, that sort of thing if you want to get through, which seems like an appropriate challenge for someone on that level of their journey. But then if you're challenging Ash to get badges 5 or 6, now things start to get heat up and get a little bit more real. Quilava, that's basically a gift. We're upping the number of Pokemon to 5 here, because as we've seen through many trainers' journeys, they're not really going to have 6 fully trained Pokemon yet. In fact, some of the training might be light on some of their team. They'll definitely need a team of 6 to get an 8th badge, for example, but for now, we accept their training is going to be a little light. Quilava is basically a gimme. Your checks should be available. You should be able to wash this away, bury it under rocks, no big deal. But then Quilava is basically used as a scout. If you tried to crush him under rocks, Pignite is going to come out and do what he can to break up those rocks and deal with a rock check. If it's instead a case of, hey, you washed it away with some water, no problem. Ash can bring out his Torkoal. We're again going to get that sun shining. And once Torkoal is gone in that slugfest, Talonflame will deploy after it and send out a couple solar beams if available. Okay, great. That works out. It's not a perfect water check, but it's something. And then obviously, if we're looking at ground to deal with Quilava, or ground to deal with Pignite, any of those, Talonflame can come out and go ahead and have that flying typing. If you still take him down with rocks, well, that's going to be a problem for Talonflame. That just leaves us within the back a fully evolved Incineroar, which is a pretty strong Pokemon to deal with, but is perfectly reasonable for this level of play. We see over here that Incineroar has that 530 stat total. It's a starter. You're all familiar with it. And it's carrying that dark type, which doesn't really help us too much against any of Fire's weaknesses. The idea was really to weed out weaknesses so that when you get to Incineroar, those have been checked appropriately. You don't have your checks preserved. They're not healthy, and you have to fight him in a more neutral matchup. If you brought multiple well-trained checks to Fire type, hey, you probably get through, but at that point, you deserve the gym badges. Cool. So that brings us to, this should be the top, right? You're coming in here, you're trying to get badge 7 or you're trying to get badge 8 from Ash Ketchum. Well, Ash Ketchum isn't just going to roll over for you. And at that point, he gets to throw a pretty real team at you, and he is a former champion. So you can't just expect to go, oh, I beat a champion, blah, 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 blah. No, he'll play along with the league, but there's going to be some difficulty. So lead of Incineroar here, that's just a strong fire Pokemon right off the bat. We saw that stat total. Not going to do a great job of dealing with any of the checks, but if you tried to send out something half-trained to try to preserve your better fire check, you added someone new to your team just for this gym to try to make it easier, and you put them out first so you can save your better check for later, he's going to be able to trade blows with that just fine because he is a powerful Pokemon, and Ash's Incineroar is pretty well trained. It did have a crucial role in winning him a league championship after all. After that, again, even though you're up to 8 Pokemon now, you have to be up to 8 Pokemon now. Getting this 7th or 8th badge has to sort of be the, okay, you need to be using 6 Pokemon now. That's kind of a requirement to be able to go battle in the league there, the league conference. We know that they're not going to be fully trained, so you get a little bit of a gift in Quilava here. You should be able to take this one out without too much trouble. Rather low stat total, singles typing there, fine. Depending on what you took these first Pokemon or 2 out with, that's going to answer with Ash's deploy order. Obviously, he's got the same tricks with Torkoal and Talonflame, as well as Pignite there to break up the rocks. Nothing too new. Now the checks are effectively dealt with, but instead of Incineroar sitting in the back as the ace, Ash's Charizard, one of his better-known Pokemon, is the ace to clean things up, to go ahead and deal with anyone that is left. And that is a solid Pokemon that we're looking at. Ash doesn't have a Mega Stone for it, but doesn't need it for this. We're still looking at 534, Fire Flying type. That rock weakness, well, definitely a problem. That ×4 rock weakness, we've helped clear that away by deploying Pignite at the right time. Pignite's a little weak for someone who's challenging for their 8th badge there, but he is there to help deal with any of those rock Pokemon, and then has that immunity to ground himself, and then just a raw amount of muscle. So this is going to be what it looks like if you're trying to get one of your final badges from Ash. But what if you want to be cheeky? What if you want to go, hey, I already got 8 badges, I qualified for the league, but I want to get a 9th badge or a 10th badge from someone just to prove that I can. I want to get some more practice before the league conference starts. I want to battle these gym leaders at their fullest. Or maybe another gym leader wants to scrimmage with Ash, or an Elite Four member goes, hey, you used to be a champion. Show me what you got. And Ash still wants to meet them with his appropriate gym typing rather than going out to his full roster. Well, he can upgrade his team a little bit more. He can't go super, super high, but he can upgrade it a little bit more. This time we're going to lead with Pig Knight. Nothing too crazy there. The reason we can afford to lead with Pig Knight is if Pig Knight goes down before dealing with a rock type, you now still have Infernape on the board. That's what we've done. We've added Infernape. And Infernape, another 534 Pokemon, nice special attack here, nice attack here, good mixed attacker. We're looking at that, and that's going to give this team the ability to go, we can really deal with rocks now. We have a fully evolved Pokemon to deal with it. Still, it's only going to take neutral damage from them, no resistance, but at least hits them back hard. You have Pig Knight doing much the same thing. Torkoal and Talonflame are doing what they always were, and the gimme Pokemon of Quilava is effectively out. Yes, Pig Knight isn't fully evolved, so you could still look at them as a gimme, but at least they're helping eliminate some things, and Ash can't get a better combination than what is up on the board right now with the fire Pokemon we've seen him catch in his adventure so far. So let me know what you guys think. Do you look at this one and go, oh no, this is just way too powerful of a team. You couldn't possibly take this down when you were trying to get your 7th badge? Or do you maybe look at this and say, hey, there's nothing strong enough. We need something stronger if you're going for a 2nd badge off this first team, or 2 mid-forms for a 1st badge? That's just too hard. No one's that difficult. Let me know what you think, or if you think you could construct a different combination that would be better for some level of badge challenge here. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what type you would like to see next. Ash has a couple other typings in here that he could theoretically hold down a gym for, and we could make teams for those and try to scale them across the different levels. Going to be harder with some of these only 6 Pokemon teams, but I'm up for the challenge if you are. So drop a comment, let me know what you're looking for. If you're enjoying the content, drop a like, consider subscribing for more thought-provoking Pokemon content, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, Temporal out.